Okay, this next demonstration is an option that you can use to work on your planar head. The planar head is a small painting. You can do it on a sketchbook paper. If you pre-gesso that paper with acrylic, it's going to work much better for you. The paper won't absorb your oil paint. I don't care if you do this in oil paint actually. You can do this in watercolor, you could do this in color pencil, and you can do this option that I'm doing and pull an image into Photoshop and do a planar analysis of your face. Either way, I think it's going to help you understand the planes of your face better and the geometry before you begin painting. Um, so just choose one method. I thought you might like to see this Photoshop method because I think it could be really helpful. So pull an image that you want to use. Um, in the assignment, the portrait assignment, I'm asking you guys to sort of manipulate your face a bit. So I did sort of a less than typical expression. This allows you to look at yourself a little bit more objectively. You're a little bit less concerned with it looking like you because it already doesn't look like you. So putting a wig on or manipulating your face with makeup or really making an expressive expression can really make this much easier on yourself because you're less apt to be worried about it looking like you. Okay, so let's begin. I have a planar analysis head on YouTube that you guys can look up. It might also help you. That's the analysis I'm using for this. So when you guys are starting, you're going to want to get your tool. Let me move this over for a second. Okay. You're going to want to get probably just a paintbrush. I'm just grabbing a regular paintbrush and I'm taking the opacity down to like 50% and I'm just using like a white. You might want to do a quick analysis of your face. So find the top edge, find the bottom of your chin, and your eyes are going to rake through the center. Now I'm looking up, so that is going to make sort of a rainbow shape right there instead of a straight horizontal line, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and make their center right through the eyes, and then it rakes back down in that arc. When you do planar analysis, you really want to use straight lines only. So I'm holding shift the whole time that I'm using this tool, and it connects the dots. So it gives me that straight edge look I'm looking for planar analysis. This will give you a little bit of a map that's not too intrusive on your face. So you can still see it, but it's not too bright. So I would definitely take that opacity down. Now we're going to map out the sockets. And remember, this is where the holes in your skull are. So notice it goes way below the eye. So this is the area in which the hole in my skull is found. Okay, and then we're going to go to the edge right here, and you can see right here is that strong diagonal that's defining my my cheekbone. Now start duplicating in a symmetrical fashion. So even though your look might be slightly off center, it's going to duplicate pretty similarly. There it is. Okay. I'm going to locate the top of the cheek, and then I'm going to do it again over here. So sometimes you might find it more easily on one side than the other, but if you found it on one, I know it's going to be on the other, so you can just duplicate that. I always look for where your glasses would sit as the break on the nose. That break also leads you right here to your tear ducts. So that's what I like finding, that the nose bridge leading right here to the tear ducts, okay? going to find the top of the nose, that straight line, okay? Then I'm going to go down here. Okay. And then the nose, the tip of the nose, we know is a sphere, but I'm just going to break it into that sort of geometric shape. And then we can complete the nostrils. Right here where the nostrils meet the cheekbone is going to come right down to your laugh lines. Right on the outside of your mouth. Okay, these are going to connect up. And this is the break in your mouth, all the way down to your laugh lines. Okay. Break the lips into more geometric shape. And then that shape really makes it easy to see the planes meeting the chin. You can almost see that, almost like pentagon shape, breaking that up right there. Right here where your eyebrow begins to break or bend around your skull is typically where you're going to find the strong forehead ridge. So there's a ridge right here, there, and there's one here. Even though you can't see it, you know it's going to duplicate. So if your hair is covering something, it's fine, just duplicate from the other side. Okay. Forehead shape makes its way around. Okay. Notice the back of the head goes beyond the faceplate. So here's the faceplate, but the back of the skull extends back here a bit over your ears. So leave a little bit of that space for that area. Now my ears are going to be right here. So even though they're hard to see, you could just kind of establish real quick where they are. And you know the top of the ears will line up with the eyes, and the bottom of the ears will line up with the bottom of the nose. So you know, even though I can't see it, that my ears are right there. Now the neck connects to the ear, but it goes through the cheekbone. There's this sort of transparent move right here. So you might want to just take into account where that neck is going to meet. Okay. And the neck sort of breaks into those three zones. And notice almost everything in a planar analysis does that. It breaks into three zones. Typically there's a top, a side, and a bottom. Here's the top, the side, and sort of looking downwards, okay? All right, now that we have this sort of analyzed in terms of that planar head, now you can begin grabbing your, this is your polygonal tool. It's a straight edge tool. It's not going to allow you to make any choice other than straight edge. And you can start breaking up this face into its planar shapes. And this might really provide you a really great shape to base your painting on. So there's the shape. What I'm going to do is grab my dropper. I'm just going to pull the most average color. I kind of personally go a little dark. And I'm going to just paint bucket it in. My paint bucket is at like 40%. You don't have to go all the way if you want control of that value. And there's one cheek, the front of the cheek. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the top of the cheek here. Okay, I've chosen it. It's facing up, so it should be lighter than the previous. There you go. And there's that shape meeting that shape. Let's go ahead and get that third shape. The side of the face meeting the cheekbone. Once again, I'm just going to choose the most average color out of that plane. try to get rid of your white lines. It looks a little better. And you can kind of create this wonderful map of the face, and it's specific to you. Let's see. Now I have the completed map behind me. I'll show you. I'm not going to do the entire face. I'm going to do a couple here. Okay. Let me do the nose. I like to start with shadows. So right here, the nose, under the nose gets a strong shadow. And in the painting demo that I'm posting, I also started with that really strong shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and find that shape. I'm going to lay that in. And once again, I like leaving that transparency on a little so that you can see some of the information below. I think it's helpful. We can get the bridge of the nose right here. It's very straight, and then it hits that place where your glasses would hit. And there's the color, paint drop it in. Okay. And then you'll have these two sides. Okay. And then I'll get the other one. Now the other side is going to be the light side because it is catching all the light coming from the right side of the face. So now you're starting to see that geometric nose take shape. The tip of the nose, I kind of go for this pentagon-like shape. And once again, just pick your middle value, not to the lightest, not the darkest. There we go. And then you get that, it's a pretty good, you know, geometric nose. The eye is probably the most complicated area, and I think what I want you to notice is the rule of three. So you'll really notice this thirds happening all over the place. So that top eye above the eyelid breaks into those threes really well. Right here. And it tends to follow all the way through. So you can align those edges all the way through the eye and then down to the bottom of the socket as well. So let me just finish this one real quick, and I'll show you below how it turned out. Okay. And then if I can show you the completed, here's the completed piece. So I did the whole face, look like a bald Britney Spears. You will look funny. Don't worry about the hair, just ignore it. I think mainly I really want you guys to feel like you understand the skull and the planar shapes of the face. I think you can see the top, sides of the nose, the bottom of the nose. Here's the rule of thirds again on that lip. So you have the two sides and the top. Upper lip is almost darker, always darker than the lower lip. And notice this system happens again in the chin, three shapes rolling around the bridge of the nose, three shapes around the eye. And those shapes also break up the eye itself. That line goes all the way down. So right here is the darker part of my white, the middle part of my white, and the bright part of my white. So once you find a system, you'll notice those lines align all the way down the face, or the patterns repeat with great consistency. Okay, I hope this helps you kind of think about your planar head. Use any medium you want, computer, colored pencils, paint. Good luck.